Welcome to our experience in Barcelona, Spain on our 25-day cruise summer of 2023. Our stop was from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. After walking off the cruise port, there was an area where many buses and taxis await, and there are many options. We chose and prepaid for hop-on, hop-off at $100.46 for two people, and there's different options when taking the hop-on, hop-off. They have two different lines, a red line and a blue line, and you can go from one to the other. We also decided to go to Sagrada Familia, which we will talk about later. We were still having to hunt for clothes because we never got our check-in luggage for the whole cruise, so we had to do some shopping in downtown Barcelona. Unfortunately, it rained a large part of the time we were there.
Joe have to stop at Pull and Bear, his favorite store in Europe.
After going on, hop off, and shopping and getting off at the Sagrada Familia, we were hungry and decided to eat at this close restaurant to the Sagrada Familia. We had some tapas and some sangria, and Eli, of course, had to have her dorado fish. Dorado fish, yet again. We purchased our hop-on, hop-off as well as the Sagrada Familia tour through Viator and prepaid for these. Sagrada Familia small group tour with optional tower access is what we chose, and we paid $136.98. Unfortunately, the optional tower access was not able to be done due to the wind and rain of the day. I need to point out that there are several ticket options and prices. Drought conditions in Barcelona, Spain, except when we're here on our cruise. It's been raining all afternoon, consistently for about 4 hours now. Sagrada Familia has three facades: Nativity, Passion, and Glory. The Passion is the one shown here, and it was finished in 1976 and shows tormented figures, Christ on the cross and also being scourged. It is dedicated to the Passion. It has three levels. The first lower level has the Sanhedrin, trial, kiss of Judas, Last Supper, and before the crucifixion. The second level is the Calvary and the three Marys, and the third level is his crucifixion. Sagrada Familia is the largest unfinished Catholic church. It was designed by Catalan architect Anton Gaudi, and construction began on March 19, 1882, under the architect Paula del Villan, who resigned the following year, and Gaudi took over until his untimely death in 1926. He is currently buried in the church's crypt. There has never been any government funding, and all funding has been through private donation. And currently this, as well as the ticket sales, are paying for this. The cost is about 25 million euro annually for the construction, and total cost currently is 374 million euros. The architecture type is a combination of Gothic and curvilinear Art Nouveau. The progress was slow, and it was actually interrupted in 1936 by the Spanish Civil War, at which time some anarchists caused a fire there. Construction passed the midpoint in 2010 and the 70% completion at 2025. Scheduled completion is 2026, but the sculptures, decorative works, and the controversial proposed stairway is scheduled to be finished by 2034. The stone originally came from Montserrat Mountain, but as they got deeper, the rock got more fragile, so now they ship it from Withal Quarry in Bristol, England. The first Mass was celebrated in 1885 in the Chapel of St. Joseph. It was consecrated in November 7th, 2010 by Pope Benedict XVI as a minor basilica. 6,500 people attended inside and over 50,000 were outside. 100 bishops and 300 priests were used to distribute communion. Purchasing tickets in advance is recommended. The cost currently is 30 euros for a guided tour with an app audio guide, 40 euros with tour plus towers, 38 euros with tour plus towers without a guide, and groups are 30 euros per person with a specialized guide. It is open every day of the year. Mass is celebrated international and is every Sunday at 9 a.m. as well as holy days, and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Appropriate attire is required. The church's central vault is 148 or 45 meters tall, and the side vaults are 98 feet or 30 meters. The main nave was covered in 2010, and an organ was placed that same year and consists of 1,492 pipes. 12-pointed illuminated crystal star on one of the outside main towers was dedicated to the Virgin Mary on November 29, 2012, and is 23 feet or 7 meters high. Outside there are 18 planned spires, 13 of which has been completed as of 2023. They are going to be based on height. The shortest are going to be dedicated to the 12 apostles, the next 4 to the 4 evangelists, Saints Luke, Matthew, John, and Mark. Then the next higher one is the Virgin Mary, and of course the tallest is dedicated to Jesus. As mentioned before, there are 3 facades. The Nativity facade was finished in 1936 and faces east, which means it's facing the rising sun, and it's dedicated to the birth of Jesus. The second one is the Passion facade, which I showed earlier, finished in 1976 and shows tormented figures. The first level is that of the Last Supper and the days before Christ's crucifixion. The middle is that of Calvary and the 3 Marys, and the third is dedicated to the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. The last facade is the Glory facade, which began in 2002 and is the largest and represents one of the ascension of God to God. It depicts scenes of hell, purgatory, death, the 7 deadly sins, and 7 heavenly virtues. There is a staircase proposed, but it has had issues with access and building due to the Calle de Mallorca that it's going to have to be dealt with. Those doors were installed in 2008 and inscribed as the Lord's Prayer with the saying, "Give us our daily bread," inscribed in 50 different languages. This candelabra is from 1883. This candelabra was used in 1883 for Easter celebration. As stated at the beginning of the video, we took hop on, hop off to get to and from the Sagrada Familia, and due to the rain and other issues, it seemed like the buses were not running appropriately in time. We stood waiting for our bus, which we had to get the blue line and then change to the red line and get back to the port area. However, time was of the essence because they quit running at I think 5 or 6 in the evening, and so we were waiting, and we decided instead of trying to get onto the blue bus, we went to walking with this other couple, a very nice couple from Amsterdam, and we finally found the red line bus area, bus stop, and we got to the port and back onto our ship.
Sé quién te dejó, pero amor créelo, que en un par de vidas ese sería yo. Te tiene que doler, pero ya déjalo, que él no es como todos y nadie es como yo. Si tú estás low, te pongo high, tremendo flow. Ready por go, tú solo caes, mi caramelo, un melón. Nadie sabe tan rico como tú, como tú, como tú, como tú, baby. Yeah. Y el que mata con esa actitud, actitud, te porta mal. Yeah. Que solo le haga el favor, lo que el corazón, pero no le da. Dice que no quiere amor, solo un calentón, pues todo se le da. Después de esa noche, como te guayé, mandate un DM rápido y es que llevé el coro abierto, el Durex y un poco más. Yeah, yeah, baby y happy, compare copas, un hello a Kitty, rompe la nota, agüita pa'l Harry, que se me quema, baby. Yeah, nadie sabe tan rico como tú, como tú, como tú, como tú, baby. Yeah, y el que mata con esa actitud, te porta mal. Yeah, que solo le haga el favor, lo que el corazón, pero no le da. Dice que no quiere amor, solo un calentón, pues todo se le da. Quiero dejarlo en repeat, esa cara cuando te vi venir. Tú suelta pa' que te la vives, dice que no, pero por Insta ya me sigue. Desde esa noche ya no dejas que te ligue. Quieres ser Hailey pa' que yo sea su people girl. Yo por ti lo di todo, sin dormir me dejó. De tanto hacerlo, baby, no me quejo. Yeah. Nadie sabe tan rico como tú, como tú, como tú, como tú, baby. Yeah. Y el que mata con esa actitud, te porta mal. Yeah. Que solo le haga el favor, lo que el corazón, pero no le da. Dice que no quiere amor, solo un calentón, pues todo se le da.
This is the end of our one day in Barcelona, Spain, visiting the Sagrada Familia. We didn't have much time for anything else. We hope you enjoyed this video and go to visit this fantastic, awesome feat of architecture. Thanks for watching.